morning. It's Friday, May 1st, and I think today we're going to talk a little nonsense. I didn't find anything that I really wanted to rant about. Vice President Pence went to the Mayo Clinic, and he wanted to thank all the health pros at the Mayo Clinic for a job well done. Trouble with that was he showed up without a mask, and there was some confusion because supposedly the Mayo Clinic had left a message at his office that everybody had to wear a mask. But he apparently didn't get the message, and his wife said he didn't know anything about it. He didn't get such a message. And it turns out that the Mayo Clinic, who had tweeted about the incident, took the tweet down. So maybe there was some truth to the fact that they sent it to his office and they weren't sure he didn't get it. Also, in his defense, he said he gets tested every week and he shows no sign of the COVID infection, and so that's why he wasn't wearing a mask. And then later on, he went to a factory in Kokomo, Indiana, and it was a General Motors plant, I believe, and they were manufacturing ventilators. And he wore a mask there. So I'm going to cut him some slack. At first, I thought he should set an example for the rest of the country, but he doesn't feel that way about it. So, I'm going to cut him some slack and say it's okay. Water under the bridge. Maybe he learned something and maybe he won't do it anymore. So, as far as I'm concerned, it ended up being a big to-do about nothing. Now, on another subject, I do most of the cooking these days. And here's the big question of the day. How do you know when your chicken is properly cooked? You think that's funny, but a bunch of researchers are looking into that fact because they say it's very complicated to determine when the chicken is cooked. So what's your rule of thumb? Is it when the juices run clear? When it's no longer pink? Or do you test the texture of the meat? Now, none of these methods is foolproof. Even a meat thermometer may have drawbacks, according to a new study that investigated how people in 5 European countries cooked chicken. Guess what? The researchers said that their lab tests showed that changes in the color and texture of the chicken weren't a reliable indicator of whether it was done. At least not on their own. The researchers also found that the majority of consumers continue to rely on sensorial qualities, color, juices, texture, to indicate that the chicken is fully cooked. And only a small number of them use a thermometer. I make a small cut and look at the meat. I have many chicken recipes, but my favorite is chicken scaparello. So if anybody wants the recipe, they can email me. Now I want to do a quick follow-up on the SBA loan program that was giving out money to small businesses. Well, they gave Harvard $8.7 million, which Harvard claims they never requested, and Harvard has an endowment fund of $41 billion. So in any event, Harvard said they're giving the money back. And the Shake Shack, which I never heard of that company before, but apparently a lot of people have, they're giving the money they got back because they don't consider themselves a small business. Ruth Chris Steakhouse, which isn't a small business, is keeping the money. Then I noticed that some private schools got money. One of the private schools is Barron Trump's private school, and they got something like $8 million, and they're keeping it. And the Sidwell Academy, which was the private school that Chelsea Clinton attended, and as did Obama's children, attended that school, and they got the money and they're keeping it. But there were many, many private schools that refused to even request the money. They said, in essence, that there were more people who deserved the money. There were a lot of people out there that needed the money more than they did. So that was very nice of them, very thoughtful. And that's it for now. I know it was probably boring for you this morning, but we got to relax a little bit today. So take it easy, and I'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have something good to rant about. Bye.